Was good, y'all? Rich Salsa back in the building with another banger, man. So, as you can see by the looks of the title and the screen today, I'm bringing y'all a very special build. Today, the build is going to be a point guard, going to be called the two-way threat. And what's special about this build is that you're going to be able to get all of the contact dunks when it comes to having that 90 driving dunk plus the small contact dunks. And on top of all that, the defense is still really solid on this build. So before we get any further, I just gotta say thank God for giving me this opportunity. Thank y'all for the support, and y'all already know what y'all need to do. Be sure to hit that sub button if you're new. Anybody looking to join the Rich Gang family RGF, be sure to go ahead and turn on post notifications as well as hit that like button. I would appreciate it if we can get at least 50 likes on this video. Be sure to share it with your family and friends. And now, let's go ahead and get into the making of this build. So, the very first thing that y'all need to go ahead and do is put this build under the point guard position. Now, I know we can find this build name out of different positions, but today we're making it out of the point guard. When it comes down to the height, I'm going to hit y'all with 6'1". When it comes down to the weight, put on 178, and then when it comes down to the wingspan, go with 6'10". Now, everything is set up perfectly, and all you need to do is just follow along exactly with what I show y'all. So, the very first thing that we're going to go ahead and do is put that close shot to a 92. When it comes down to the driving layup, we're actually going to go ahead and put this to an 82. And when it comes down to the driving dunk, this is going to be a 92. And as you can see, we're going to unlock 28 finishing badges on this build. And for the Hall of Fame badges that we do get, really solid, and not to mention the gold badges are really good as well. Now, let's go ahead and take it a step further. We're going to go ahead and get into the shooting. Mid-range shot, going to be an 88. Three-point shot, going to be an 86. When it comes down to that free throw, I'm going to go ahead and put this to a 75. And as you can see right here, we're going to be able to get 29 shooting badges. So far so good. Right here we get a lot of gold badges, but also a good amount of Hall of Fame. Now let's go ahead and get into the next category of badges, which is going to be the playmaking. So right here I'm going to go with the pass accuracy of 78, ball handle of 89, and when it comes down to the speed with ball, we're going to go ahead and put this to an 80. And right there, that's going to give us 27 playmaking badges. Let's go ahead and get into the defensive end now. Here is where we are taking a minor hit to other categories. Right here, I'm going to go with the perimeter defense of 89, steal of 90, and right there, we're going to leave it at 20 defensive badges. Now, as you can see, we're going to go ahead and max out that speed at a 92. Acceleration must be an 89. Vertical must be an 85 for the small contact dunks. And then when it comes down to the stamina, max this out at a 90. And as you can see right here, the badges that we do get for the defensive end are actually pretty good. None of these badges are really ones that we wouldn't use. All of these are some very solid ones. And then when it comes down to the playmaking, we actually get a good amount of badges that we're going to be able to use here. So just remember, if you feel like going anything different than what I am showing y'all, go ahead and make your own adjustments at the end of the video. That way we can still maintain the same exact build name together, but also exactly how this build is made when it comes down to the badges as well as the stats. Remember, you're going to get a +3 from each season that you complete. So that's a +1 badge from each season individually. Then you get a +4 from the rebirth, which makes it even better all around. And as you can see, we're going to be able to really get some nice takeovers. We get the slashing takeover, shot creating, sharpshooting, and then last, but definitely not least, we also unlock the lockdown takeover. Now remember, with this build, you're going to get somewhere around 111 badges. So a lot of wealth is going to be inside of this build, especially with that +7 badges that you will be getting from, like I said, the 3 seasons as well as a +4 from the rebirth. Now, the first takeover that I'm going to go with is going to be ankle breaking shots. This is easily the best takeover when it comes down to next gen. Really overpowered and really easy to break ankles. For the second takeover, I would highly recommend picking a lockdown one. I would go with either enhanced jump shot contest or even extreme clamps. Both of these are some really good options. It comes down to what you want to do. I'm going to leave that option up to y'all, but as you can see, we have made the first ever 111 badge two-way threat build out of the point guard position, and this is easily gonna be one of those rare meta point guard builds. Now, on top of all that, we get over 100 badges, which makes it even better. But before we get any further, I gotta go ahead and talk about what this build is gonna be looking like once you max it out and also buy boost, run with the correct teammates, add takeover, and all that good stuff. So remember, without takeover, we're gonna be getting a +8 to our stats. 4 from buying boost when it comes down to the defensive end, playmaking, shooting, and finishing, but then another +4 from running with teammates that are going to have Hall of Fame, floor general, as well as defensive leader. So that's a +8 right there. Then we also did pick the lockdown and shot creating takeover, which gives us a +10 when our takeover is activated. So essentially, in takeover, you're going to be able to get a 99 perimeter defense as well as steal, which makes this build so much more better on the defensive end. Then when it comes down to the shooting in takeover, you're going to be able to get a 99 mid-range shot as well as a 99 three-pointer. Free throw is going to be in the 90s, which is still really solid. But let's just go ahead and say you pick one of the slashing takeovers. You have the potential to get a 99 driving dunk, also a 99 driving layup, as well as a 99 close shot. For the playmaking, this is really a solid asset of this build. When it comes down to your ball handle, this is going to be in the 90s. Speed with the ball, going to be somewhere around an 88. And then when it comes down to the defensive end, throwing in on top of all that, I'm telling you, this build is really going to mix together well, especially if you decided to pick the takeovers that I showed y'all. But now, let's just go ahead and get into the breakdown of these badges. I'm telling you, be very specific with which badges you decide to put on for this build. I'm going to start it off with Hall of Fame, Limitless Takeoff, as well as Slithery Finisher. From there, I'm going to go with Gold Posterizer, Silver Fearless Finisher, then also Gold Giant Slayer. We have 4 more remaining badges, so if you wanted to, you can drop down your Giant Slayer to Silver, go ahead and throw on Hall of Fame Pro Touch, and then for the very last badge, I would go ahead and put on Unstrippable on Bronze, just to be safe. Now, let's go ahead and get into the next set of badges, which is going to be the shooting. So, I'm going to go with Blinders on Gold, also going to throw in Deadeye on Silver, Bronze Green Machine, and then when it comes down to the next set of badges, I'm going to go with Gold Hot Zone Hunter, Gold Mismatch Expert, Volume Shooter, Hall of Fame Sniper, Silver Corner Specialist, and then for the very last 2 available, you can go with Clutch Shooter as well as Catch and Shoot, just to be safe. Now, let's go ahead and get into the playmaking. We got a good amount of badges to use here. So, I'm going to go with Bullet Passer on Bronze, Gold Hyperdrive, as well as Gold Quick Chain. Then from there, I'm going to throw in Triple Threat Juke on Hall of Fame, Gold Quick First Step, and then also you cannot forget about Handles for Days. I'm going to throw that on Gold. Also going to go ahead and put on Silver Unpluckable as well as Bronze Bailout. Now let's go ahead and get into the defensive end. Remember, this is all based on your own preference. So one way that I would go about setup when it comes down to the defensive end is going to be Hall of Fame Hustler as well as Gold Clamps. From here, I would really say that Interceptor on Bronze is going to be a very nice badge to use. Same thing can be said for Tireless Defender. And then for the very last 2 badges, I would really consider Gold Menace as well as Gold Pickpocket. If you want to go ahead and throw in one more extra badge, I would go with Ankle Braces. But remember, there's also multiple different setups that you can go with when it comes down to going into the badge counts. So if you were to change anything up about this build, you can really take off Menace and even Tireless Defender or even Interceptor. If you want to go with another Hall of Fame badge, you can definitely do that, or even throw in another Silver or Gold. It really comes down to your preference. But honestly, I feel like this is something of the main setup that I would be using if I were to use this build. So as you can see, when it comes down to the finishing end, we're actually going to be able to maintain everything we want even though we are 6'1". As you can see, we're going to end it off with 28 finishing badges, and then when it gets into the shooting, we're going to be able to maintain 29. As for the playmaking, this is really solid here as well. We get 27. And then to end it off, we're going to end it off with a 20 count badge on the defensive end. Again, I just got to say thank y'all for your support. Thank God for giving me this opportunity. I just need y'all to know I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. And man, y'all already know what y'all need to do. Be sure to hit that sub button if you're new. Anybody looking to join the Rich Gang family RGF, be sure to go ahead and turn on post notifications as well as hit that like button, y'all. Man, I would appreciate it if we can get at least 50 likes on this video. Be sure to share it with your family and friends. And last but not least, with all that being said, I got one last thing to say. Thank God and Rich out.